You're my boy, Blue! You're my boy.
I agree with everything you said, my brother. I believe there has to be a civil war within the black community. It may not have to be physical, but it may be physical. There has to be a civil war in the black community before there can be a civil war by the black community with the white community. We have too many agents, too many gatekeepers, too many coons, and too many self-hating Negroes. If we don't choose who we're going to struggle with, we will lose before we get out the gates. There are too many black people who have invested too much in their position within the overall white power structure. And I would argue that you have more people who are for the white power's agenda in Pittsburgh than who are for the black agenda in Pittsburgh. And that's true for the whole country. It's true for the whole country. It's not even 50-50, it's like 70-30. 70% are with the white power structure. The athletes, the rappers, they are all white power structure. I love LeBron James, I love Jay-Z, they do some good things, but at the end of the day, they over there. Oprah is over there. Tyler Perry is over there. No disrespect to none of them, but they are clearly over there. Now, when we take the entertainers and the celebrities out, we now got to look within the community, and we got to decide who is too much of a risk to remain with us. No disrespect, I might say to the brother, no disrespect. Your father was FBI, your mother was Homeland Security, your wife was CIA. I have nothing against you, but that is too many risk factors for me to believe you are real about what we get. No disrespect, but you can't be a part of the inner circle. He might get be part of that second circle. He might get be part of the third circle. One thing Huey P. Newton said information is disseminated on a need-to-know basis. So we need to have circles of influence and trust. Everybody can't be trusted the same. Let me give you an example. He's loyal. He's loyal enough to go to jail. He's not loyal enough to lose his life. He's loyal enough to give up his white wife, but he ain't loyal enough to lose his white customers who keep his business afloat. Y'all see what I'm saying? Some people willing to die. Some people willing to go to jail. Some people willing to go broke. Some people ain't willing to lose nothing. We got to know what people are willing to sacrifice so we know where to assign them. As long as they are honest, we can use them. Let me know, God, I care about my people. I can't lose my job, my home, my relationships with white folks. But if there's something I can do, let me know. Thank you for being honest. He don't ever come to the Central Committee meetings. Do you feel me? He can't come to that because he ain't ready to die for that. But I can use him as a snitch. I can use him as an informant. Are y'all following me? I can use him to infiltrate the bourgeoisies in the mayor's office. You see, so as long as people are honest, we can use them in one of the circles. The problem with black folk, we not honest. We'll all show up like we're willing to die, and we not. And we not. You just took out a $350,000 mortgage in the white suburb of Pennsylvania. Your ass ain't ready to go to jail. Be honest. Problem is we won't be honest. But I believe we gotta pick and choose. The black struggle is not a utopia. It is not a utopia. Everybody ain't coming, and we all don't have to agree. Like me and Baba disagree, but that's okay. We need healthy disagreement. We don't need everybody being a robot. I'm glad he gonna see the problem a little differently. I'm glad he gonna see the problem a little differently. But can we come to a consensus based on those divergent opinions so we can still move out on the oneness? That's what we need. Also, we gotta get rid of this one man at the top. I don't want to be the one man at the top. Only thing that happens to the one man at the top, you get killed or corrupted. That's it. There's no other place for you because you're not going to retire like that. They're either going to corrupt you or they're going to kill you. Medgar, Martin, Malcolm, we can keep on going, right? So we need a leadership team. Men, women, youth, elders. It's a team. So if you lock up Dr. Umar, it don't matter. That's a team of 20. You fired a sister, it don't matter. It's a team of 20. We got to stop this one man European thing at the top. That is not going to serve us here now. Because when they killed that one man, Dr. King, 54 years later, you still ain't got a replacement. Killed Malcolm, 64 years later, you still ain't got a replacement. Think about it now. Nobody has come along to replace Malcolm. Nobody has come along to replace King. Nobody has come along to replace Fred Hampton. Nobody has come along to replace Medgar Evers. They were irreplaceable. But the mistake we made, we didn't have a team with them. One of the biggest problems of the black man's ego, is we never want to face our mortality. And because the black man don't want to face our mortality, we never train our replacements. Are y'all following me? Why do you have 100 churches in Pittsburgh? It ain't because we're so in love with Jesus. It's because when I get old enough to be a pastor, I want to share the mic. I just came out of seminary school. I want to do some sermons. But he tell me, I built this church with my bare hands. This is my church. Guess what? Ain't nobody coming to church no more because he's boring. He got the youth, but he don't want to use them because his ego needs the whole spotlight. And he'd rather the church go to hell than share it with the youth. And you know what the problem is? When I get his age, instead of learning from how he treated me, I do the exact same thing. Do you realize the black community is the only community where the leaders are the age of grandparents? You can't go into no other community where the major freedom fighters are the age of grandparents. If you go to the Jewish community, the Asian community, the Native American community, when they get to be 60 and 70, they pass the baton. We don't ever pass the baton. We want to die in leadership. Because the white man has castrated the black man's ego so much that whenever we taste power, because we're never given power. So whenever we get a little bit of power, we don't want to share it with another black man, and we will kill you if you try to take away that power that we got. One thing we need in the black community is an intergenerational transfer of power. When we get too old, we got to pull him in. He ain't got to look for us because we done already found him. We will teach you everything we know, and we're going to put you out front. But because in African culture, we don't throw the elders away. We need old men for wisdom, young men for war. Elders become more important because even though you're not out front, you're still giving him the game. We still giving him the game. And then when he gets old enough, he finds a replacement and he gives him the game. But the problem is as we age, we don't want to share the spotlight. And it's killing the black community. It's killed the black church. It's killed the revolutionary struggle. I can name you 5 elders right now in a leadership position who are good elders, but you shouldn't be there no more. And the biggest reason why is because you already put your time in. And number 2, no matter how committed to the struggle you are, you're trying to go to jail in your 80s. You're ready to go to jail. You're young. He could put 10, come out still. You go to jail at 80, your chances of coming out alive, gone. So chances are, you will take a deal. Because that's why you need the youth to fight, because the youth are the idealists, but the elders got the wisdom. But in order to get there, the elders got to be willing to share the stage. You see that? And so that's one of the things that black men have to work on. Just like I think there's things black women have to work on, because black women are more divided than black men. Now, black men kill each other more than black women kill each other, but y'all way more divided. And I think one of the things that keeps black women so divided is, number 1, black women do not respect privacy of other black women. Y'all will tell another woman's business. And it has eroded the trust that y'all have with each other. That's 1. And number 2, there's so few eligible heterosexual black men available that black women are competing over this small pool of available heterosexual men, which is also breeding distrust among sisters because they would rather have a husband than have a girlfriend. So you have girlfriends who are stabbing other girlfriends in the back because she'd rather have a man than a girlfriend, right? And so black women have to come together and have a conversation on how y'all going to work a lot of these things out as well. Okay, everybody not coming. Number 2, black men will have to bring order back to the black community. I'm going to say that again. Black men have to bring order back. I'm telling y'all right now, a day is going to come where we will have to strap up and fight our own sons. because we let them get so far out of hand. It's going to take a bullet to sit their asses down. Do y'all understand what I'm saying? They are beyond. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a therapist, and I know I can save a lot of them by talking to them. I know we can save a lot of them by getting some jobs. I know we can bring a lot of them back into the fold, brothers and sisters. But I'm going to say this again, and I've been criticized for saying this, but I'm a realist. Some of them got to be put to sleep, Mama. So, am I wrong, y'all? Some of them got to be put to sleep. We have, and it ain't their fault, it's not their fault. We allow them to be so criminalized that they are beyond repair. We got to be honest. We're not going to bring all of them back into the fold because we allow them to get so corrupted. But the black man is going to have to declare war on his own son in order to rescue the black community. Your second question, how do I keep doing the work despite the negativity? Well, number one, I get way more love than I get hate. Way more love than I get hate. So I focus on that. You two focus on the negative. I focus on the positive. The other reason I'm able to keep doing this too, number one, I believe I was born to do it. It's all I've known since I was 9 years old. I don't know nothing else but black liberation, right? And because I believe I was born to do this work, it keeps me focused. I don't think it's a coincidence I'm related to Frederick Douglass. I don't think it's a coincidence I was born on August the 21st, arguably the most revolutionary day in our people's history. I don't think none of these things are coincidences, so that's what keeps me focused in my ancestors. I know they're looking at Garvey, Malcolm, King, not just here, Lumumba, Nkrumah, Steve Biko, Julius Nyerere, Amilcar Cabral, all of them around the world, they looking and they counting on me to do what I'm supposed to do. That's what keeps me focused. I could care less about these niggas. Frederick Douglass said, a man and God are a majority against the whole world, and that's what keeps me going. Black power.
Why is it hard for people to see past the mass media in ways that's causing destruction in their communities? Like, for example, in nature, right? Surfer, I don't know about watching the surfer, another Agent Smith. He was eating that steak. He said, I know it's not real, but it tastes so good that I don't care. I want to go back. That's what he said. And I feel like that's the majority, well, not the majority, but that's a lot of people's mindset. Even, like you said, they can be either mistaken being a Negro or being a coon. And it's just it's sad to watch people destroy themselves on these platforms as opposed to, even though we don't own them, they could empower us, but instead we're using them to destroy ourselves. And going back, we don't own them to a point. For example, platforms like TikTok will literally use their AI, for example. They see dark skin or cracks on the walls and stuff like that. It's just factual stuff. They will literally put at the bottom of the page. So you're already, there's no human input. You already got machines now, they see white, they see whatever, but that's just being put up. Or if there's action, let's say, or negativity, that's what we show up. You know what I'm saying? So, like right now, it's just difficult to see why people can't see past that. I like to see hear your input.
Good question. Here's my answer. In ancient Kemet, on the temples of our ancestors, there's a saying, man know thyself. But there's also another quote from ancient Kemet that says, give the people symbols and images, because if you don't, other people will. We need our own propaganda system. We don't have it. Imagine if our children was inundated with positive African images 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We need our own propaganda system. We don't have a truly black television station. We don't have one. BET ain't it. You understand? We don't even have a truly black revolutionary radio station that can reach the whole country outside of internet radio. Black people are in need of their own media. The most honorable Marcus Garvey said, propaganda has destroyed more people than war itself. Because if you control what people think, you don't even have to fight. Remember what Dr. Carter G. Woodson said, miseducation of the Negro. What did he say? When you control a man's thinking, you don't have to worry about his actions. You don't have to tell him to go to the back. He will go anyway. And when he gets to the back, if there is no door, he will make a door and walk out. Until we educate our own children, until we have our own radio, newspaper, magazine, and television, our children will always fall victim to the white man's propaganda system. One of the things I want to do at FDMG, for those of y'all who are into media, we need to create a media system. One of the things black people don't have is systems. Let me give you an example. If we had a system, Baba, you're moving to California next week. You're already tired in Pittsburgh. You got a food system. You got a school system. You got a propaganda system. You part of a medical system. If we had a system, when Baba go to California, he tied right into the school system there, the food system there, the medical system there. We don't have no continuity because we're not organized. All these naturopathic doctors we got, I'm trying to understand why all the naturopathic doctors we got haven't come together and create some sort of community-based insurance program. So if you get sick, I can go see Dr. Sabi, rest in peace. Laila Africa, rest in peace. This brother is a naturopathic doctor, self-trained in Pittsburgh. My mom got COVID. Let me come see him. And because I'm paying into the system, y'all see that? I'm paying into the system. When I bring my mother to him, he can take care of my mom. It ain't gonna cost me nothing because I'm paying my $50 a month premium. We need systems, y'all, because the white power structure is killing us through its systems. You need a supermarket to eat, he can kill you through the food. You need his hospital to save you, he can kill you through the medicine. You need a school to teach your kids, he can kill you through the education. Until we have our own institutions, as me and Baba was saying in the back, until we have our own institutions, we will fall victim to the white man. We can't keep sending our women out there to work for the white man. We can't keep sending our kids to the schools, and we can't keep on expecting black men to find a job when the black community ain't making no jobs. Ain't no jobs out here. The U.S. government has decided the time has come to get rid of all blacks. And they're bringing in other ethnic minority groups to help them push you down. And they're using COVID to do it. Now you got some governors saying, if people don't want to go back to work and take the shot, we're going to bring immigrants in to replace them. Guess who they talking about? Us. In New York, did y'all see New York City made it legal for illegal immigrants to vote? How can you vote if you are illegal? They're making the black vote in New York irrelevant. Those Afghans that they flew over here, why did they bring the Afghans over here? They're using the Afghans to help gentrify the ghettos where they put the Afghans at. They give them free jobs, free medical, free housing. But yet you got black folks with record numbers of homelessness on the streets. In the Congressional Black Caucus, and our black elected officials ain't doing a damn thing for us, which is why I tell black people who running for office, if you don't have a solution, I want to read your plan for miseducation, mass incarceration, gentrification, police genocide, and access to wealth. If you don't have a plan on paper I can read, I'm not voting for you. I'm not voting for you. Don't give me no promises, don't give me none of that. Better have a plan for one of the 5 problems, or I'm not voting. And most black elected officials don't have one. They do whatever the Democratic Party tells them to. Yes, yes.
Districts in Humboldt paid $750,000. Something Maslow, they had Darkins was the councilman. And I went to the meeting that Harvey Adams told me was my godfather. Sent me to a meeting at the Homewood Park area to listen to this money that was being extended to this community. And do you know that they had the nerve to say at that meeting that include Wilkinsburg? At that time, Wilkinsburg was not part of the city. East Liberty, East Hills, and Homewood. That's who that money was for, out of his office. I went to my godfather and I said, I'm going to put a proposal in. But I noticed at that meeting that there was a lot of sharks in there writing down how to get the proposals in for that money. But guess what? Nobody from the Salvation Army in Homewood was there. Just so happened that I went to the Salvation Army and I asked them, could I be a liaison out of their office to put my proposal in so that I would be able to do my program for what I wanted to do for Homewood. At that time, the first black magistrate, really, that you had in Homewood, his name was Henry Ryan. He was lived here on Ray Street. And he had a building. He had a building right next to the Triers. The Triers was down here at that time. These are original people because Miss Triers was not second grade school teacher. But what I'm saying is, I put my proposal in, it was beautiful. But I had to use it, I was going to use the Nation of Islam, the Fruit of Islam, to train the young kids that were coming out of the juvenile court system to be big brothers and sisters to these kids, to train them, to show them the damages that's being done in the community from the drug dealing that was going on. The children were miseducated and misled because there was no leaders. And my heart was with the children, because I had 3 sons and 1 daughter. And my heart was with the family. So when I went into them, they said I was like an angel candidate. And they told me that I could use them to put my proposal in as a liaison for that office. And at that time, the magistrate that was down there wanted to get on my board. I had to put this together in just a short bit of time. And at that time, we didn't have computers and all this little stuff you got here. I had to go downtown to the city county. I had to do footwork to get how many, children, how many single parents were in Homewood at that time. So I could represent the 13th district, which is this district here. And let me tell you, it was a beautiful proposal that I had because I had everybody hand in hand to be able to help each other. The senior citizen building, his after school program helped. But you know what, let me tell you, these people used my proposal, and I ended up having to go down there and slap on everybody's desk so they could be heard. They used my proposal against me because they put me in jail for 3 months, and I had to sit through the whole, while your judge, Manny, was running for federal judge at that time. And I'm going to tell you, politics is dirty, and I wanted to see who was going to be here. They knew was not enough men, and I don't see too many people. I still see love because you people all showed up, and I appreciate that, and I love you.
As a young black male in America, what advice or regrets do you have growing up, or just in general, for your brothers and sisters that have just like struggling in America?
How old are you?
I'm 18.
First thing, no white girls. Got me? That's the first thing. That's number 1. Number 2, you 18 now, right? I remember when I was 18. One day you're gonna wake up 25. You're gonna wake up again 33. You're gonna wake up again 40. You're gonna wake up again 50. Your life is gonna speed up now that you're an adult. Figure out what you want to do with your life. How you're going to make your contribution to the struggle, but also how you're going to feed yourself and your family as well. You understand? Don't take forever to decide what you're going to do, but take enough time to decide properly. And once you decide what it is you want to do, give yourself to it wholeheartedly, brother. If you got to go to college, so be it. Trade school, so be it. Real estate school, so be it. Investing school, so be it. You understand me? Find out how you want to make your money, and find out how you want to contribute to our struggle. The problem with so many of our young brothers is they find out how to get paid, but they never find out how to give back. Make sure you do both. Make sure you're able to get paid so you can care for yourself, and make sure you know how to give back. 2 most important questions you gotta answer, right? What do you want to do for the rest of your life? And who are you going to spend the rest of your life with? And this is not just for you, this is for everybody in here. The 2 greatest predictors of happiness, what are you going to do with the rest of your life, and who are you going to spend it with? If you love what you do for a living, but you don't love who you're living with, your wife, you're going to be kind of happy. You also going to not want to ever go home. You're going to be one of those overworking brothers. You know those brothers who never want to go home, sisters always at the job. Why you ain't been home yet? They don't like what's waiting for them, right? Or if you love your spouse but don't love your job, you always want to be home and you never want to go to work. You have to find the balance, and the balance is to love your career and love the woman you're coming home to. And do not rush the decision for either one. You're 18. By the time you are 27, my brother, the only question that should be left for you is where you're going to live and who you're going to marry. Don't wait till you're 30, 40, and 50 to get your life together. Get it together now. You understand me? And don't become a serial monogamous either. As soon as you find that woman that you can build with, you build with her, my brother. Because the more women you experience in life, the tougher it will be to settle down with one. Find the right one early and build your life with her. You got that? Don't become no cool. Stay free. You understand? Don't let nobody buy you your loyalty or your tongue. What I love, my greatest blessing in life is no matter where I go and no matter where I speak, I can tell the truth as I see it. I don't have to worry about offending no governor, no fraternity, no Masonic lodge, no elk, no secret society, no homosexual club. You understand? I don't belong to nothing secret. Everything I do is public. So when I speak, I can speak my truth, and I don't have to worry about offending somebody who can hurt what I have, because I'm independent. And I want you to be the same way. Stay independent. So many brothers and sisters I know, even celebrities I know, they don't have a free tongue. They got millions of dollars, but they can't say what they feel. Don't you ever sell your tongue to nobody. God gave it to you for a reason, so you can speak truth to power. All great black men did three things. They studied. Make sure you're well read, my brother. But understand, there's more to the struggle than books. So study, struggle. Get involved in an organization in Pittsburgh. And if you can't find an organization in Pittsburgh, you make one. You understand me? Struggle and dissemination of information. Whether you create a web page, a magazine, a blog, do something where you can educate other black people. But activism is the most important thing you can do. Learning is good. Disseminating information is good. But if you are not involved in the everyday struggle for black liberation, you are useless. Make sure you get involved in activism. Frederick Douglass said, agitate, agitate, agitate. Who's my...
Okay. I heard on a podcast called Your Immunity Project by Dr. Abdul Alim Muhammad, and he was basically talking about the COVID-19 vaccines. And one of the things that he said caught my attention was, he was talking about when you send your children to school, you are literally, giving the school system the right to vaccinate your children. He said there was cases that was known in Maryland that people or parents didn't know that their children were being vaccinated inside the school system. I was wondering, do you know anything about that, or have you addressed that already? I don't know.
When your children go back to school in the fall, you are sent a packet of information home that they want you to sign, right? Free lunch, can they see the school nurse, early dismissal forms, right? And then there's also, they can add a vaccination page in it that says you give the school permission to decide what vaccination your child can take during school hours. So can they do it? Yes. Am I familiar with them doing it? Not a whole lot, but I do believe they are now during COVID. But they still got to have your signature though. And that's why I tell black parents, don't sign nothing without reading it, and don't sign it if you don't understand it. But also keep in mind that many states have a vaccination exemption. Pennsylvania is one of them. In Pennsylvania, your child does not have to be vaccinated to go to public school. That's right. All you have to do is get a notarized letter that you do not agree with vaccinations. You are invoking your state right to personal family belief exemption. Just go online to the Pennsylvania Department of Ed. The whole quote is there. Put it in your letter, sign it, notarize it, give it to the school secretary, and they still get registered. In Pennsylvania, you do not have to be vaccinated to go to school. Important that Pennsylvania parents know that. And that's not an old law. They just did that like in the past 10 years because Pennsylvania didn't already have personal family belief exemption. It don't have to be religion, and it don't have to be medical. Personal family belief. All you got to say is, I don't agree with vaccinations. I don't trust white folks. That's all you got to say. And my child can still go to school, notarize and send it in. And that's also in my book. For those of y'all who buy the book, it's in the book.
So this is kind of piggybacking off the question of the last year. Actually, went to the same school. We both go to Pitt. And just asking, what advice do you have for black men that are attending PWI so that we can be aware of something that might pop up now?
As a black man who went to PWI, Millersville University, we got any Millersville alum in here? I'm the only one, huh? Lancaster in the house. What's the closest state school in Pitt? IUP. My niece graduated from IUP. They wanted me to go to IUP for my doctorate and I didn't go. I should have went. I wouldn't be in debt if I would have took it, but I thought y'all was too far at the time. Stay away from the white girls. Make sure you majoring in something relevant. Get out in 4 years, not 15. Because you probably don't have to go back to grad school anyway. Don't let your athletic career take precedent over your academics. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. At Millersville University, a lot of my roommates was football players. I was Black Student Union president. And I can remember having conversations with them where they would say, I need these 2 classes to graduate. But the coach said I can't take them because that's when we have practice. You see that? So what ends up happening is you use up your 4 years of eligibility on the basketball court, but you ain't got all your credits for graduation, and the coach ain't gonna pay for no more classes because he can't use your skill on the football field or basketball court no more. You let the coach know. I know I'm on an athletic scholarship, but I need this class to graduate, and I'm taking it. I'll be to practice later. And if he tries to kick you off the team, because of that, you go to the vice president of student affairs or the president of the university, and you tell them that the coach is trying to force me not to take a class that I absolutely need, and I need you to go talk to him because that's discrimination. It's racism to tell a black athlete your classes don't matter, only sports. But what happens when my 4 years of eligibility is up, my scholarship run out, and then what happens? Make sure they respect you as a student first, my brother. Because if you let them coaches create your schedule for you, and I've seen it, you'll go through 4 years and you ain't took nothing that helps you graduate. And there's nothing worse, and I've seen it. There's nothing worse than walking past your coach who treated you like he was the best thing in his life until your eligibility runs out and he walked by you and don't even speak to you. Brother, please make sure your education comes first. Don't be making no babies on campus either. Get your education done. Do the babies later, my brother. You don't want that drama. The Pennsylvania child support system is crazy. Trust me, I'm in it. Okay? Do not get caught up in the Pennsylvania child support system. And the next time I go to child support and somebody try to take a selfie with me, I'm gonna strangle their ass. We don't take pictures in child support. But seriously, stay focused on the books. The babies will be there later, bro. Stay focused. Get out of there as soon as you can. Go right back to grad school if that's what your career requires. Don't stop until you get what you want. The mistake we make, we keep on taking time off. We do 2 years. I need a break. Do undergrad. I need a break. If you still broke, you don't need no break. You keep on going. I did my first 8 straight through. I did my 5 at Millersville, came right back and did my 3 for my school psych cert. Then I took 5 years off before I started my doctorate and wish I didn't. I wish I would have went straight through. It's much tougher when you have a child, you got bills, you got a career. Keep going now, bro, until you're done. Be done with it. You don't be going back to school in your 40s and 50s. Do it now while you're young so you can get your life started. And remember what I said, choose your career well and choose your life partner well. Make sure you get the right woman, my brother.
Cage. Sit. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy.